The text from Dad's assistant buzzed on my phone just as I was finalizing the quarterly reports for Skylock Aviation. Your father regrets to inform you that, due to recent family tensions, he has decided you will not be attending his 65th birthday celebration this Saturday. He wishes for calm, not conflict. I settled into my leather chair, smiled thinly, and set the phone aside. The recent tensions they referenced were my expose on my sister Claire's clandestine diversion of company funds she'd insisted were non-existent. Apparently, theft wasn't drama, but exposing it was unacceptable. Mom's follow-up message arrived 2 minutes later. Please don't make this harder than it needs to be. I laughed softly, thinking about every time they dismissed my ambition, called my role a hobby. My assistant, Leo, knocked lightly on the door. Emma, the lease extension documents for Hangar B9 are on your desk. I glanced at the pristine folder marked Skylock Aviation Confidential, knowing exactly why it was there. You see, when I sold Dad's prized Gulfstream to them 3 years ago, I'd slipped in a clause no one read. Skylock can terminate any hangar agreement with 48 hours notice. I tapped out a brief reply to Mom. Understood. You should double-check your own hangar arrangements. She would understand soon enough. Leaning back, I opened my laptop and accessed the flight tracking system. Their plane was scheduled to depart for Aspen on Friday evening just in time for the big party. I navigated to the lease management portal. Hangar B9. Lease active until 2028. I clicked issue termination notice. Set it to effective tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. standard procedure, they'd been told. Nothing personal. Then I toggled the security override on their Gulfstream's remote start protocol, another feature I'd insisted every Skylock jet have after a mid-air scare last year. Another ping from Dad's assistant. Claire and Michael have arranged something special for the cake-cutting ceremony. Please don't spoil it. My sister Claire, the one with the supposed Midas touch, and my brother Michael, the golden child who never lifted a finger in the business. They were the good kids, the non-drama kids, their flawless smells, their careful postures. My phone rang. It was the head of operations at Skylock. Emma, we've received the termination acknowledgement from the airport, he said, surprised. Is this really going through? They're longtime clients. I closed my eyes, picturing Dad's skyline view of Manhattan gleaming through his office window. Yes, I said quietly. Proceed. I returned to the reports, ignoring the soft click of the termination email arriving in my family's inbox. After all, I had a global aviation network to expand. My phone buzzed again. Dad's assistant. Voicemail. Emma, you'll want to pick up. It's urgent. I let it slip to voicemail and instead drafted an email to all Skylock partners. Effective immediately. Any charter under the Carter name is unauthorized. Sent. It felt good, the power humming through my fingertips. The next morning, I arrived at the office early. The city still yawning awake below my window. I sipped my espresso as the operations dashboard lit up in red. Booking failures, frantic calls, emergency requests for leftovers. Line 1 was Dad. Line 2, Claire. Line 3, Michael. Leo stepped in. Dad's on line 1. I took a steadying breath. Patch him through. Emma, this is ridiculous. Dad's voice crackled. The jet won't start. The hangar door won't open. What have you done? I leaned forward, folding my hands. I exercised the rights in our contract. Dad, it's all right here, I said, picturing his astonished stare. Maybe you should read the fine print next time, he sputtered. Asked how I could do this to him. You never took my aviation degree seriously. I reminded him. You never thought I could run an empire. Silence. Then his soft, cracking syllables. You own Skylock. I let a quiet chuckle escape. Surprise. I hung up as Claire's frantic text arrived. Please call me. Leo knocked again. Claire's calling from your childhood home. I nodded. 5 minutes later, she burst into my office, her designer purse swinging, mascara streaked. Emma, what's going on? We're stranded in Aspen. She sank into the chair, eyes wide. I stood and walked to the wall lined with my aviation certifications. You helped divert funds from my company, and then turned on me when I called you out," I said calmly. "Your reward is a taste of the consequences," she stammered about family unity, about how Dad only wanted a peaceful party. I leaned in. "Family unity," I repeated softly. "You and Michael unitied over covering up Claire's theft. But when I did the right thing, I was banished." Her shoulders slumped as she took in my office the awards, the glowing terminals, streaming live flight data. "You actually built this," she whispered. I nodded. "Every route, every partner, every jet. While you all laugh at my hobby." Claire's face fell as she realized the gravity. No cake, no Aspen, no escape. She left without another word. Leo appeared. "Michael's on line 3, I sighed. But not with regret. Michael, the ever-charming heir, was collateral damage. I clicked to answer. He begged, pleaded my reconsideration. I held up a folder on my desk. Evidence of Claire's misdeeds. "The emails Michael sent to cover them up. Loyalty," I said, "isn't selective." After the call, I drafted another memo, this time to Skylock's board, requesting approval to acquire Prestwick Air, the small regional carrier Dad always used as backup. I forwarded it to my legal team with a one-line note. "Please expedite." Skylock's growth never stopped. On Friday afternoon, I watched from my corner office as Michael tried to charter a helicopter from Prestwick only to find another lease termination notice. Effective immediately, the rotor blades never spun. The dashboard in front of me glowed green with new acquisition alerts. Prestwick Air, a private helipad outside Palm Beach, another fleet of Learjets. The world with Skylock stopped. My phone lit up with Mom's name. "Emmer, please, you're being cruel." I paused, recalling every time she told me to settle down, choose a safer career. I tapped back. "Cruel is excluding your daughter from her own father's birthday." Then I added, "Enjoy your flight from Teterboro, just not on my planes." Sent. Mom's response never came. Instead, another message. Skylock's annual shareholder report announced a new 30% stake in East Coast Private Aviation, a 20% increase year over year. I leaned back, letting the numbers sink in. They'd never see it coming. Saturday morning, I watched the chaos unfold through Skylock's real-time booking feed. Clients were routed. Emergency passengers left waiting on tarmacs. I sipped my latte, letting it go cold. Leo whispered, "Dad's trying to call you again." I shook my head. Let him wait. I had a birthday party to miss, one I'd never attend, but the price they'd pay for peace was high. Just then, the finance team sent a congratulatory banner alert. Prestwick Air acquisition complete. I stood and walked to the panoramic window. The city stretched below in glittering grids. Sometimes revenge comes grounded in contracts and clauses, but more often, it soars on your own ambition. My phone buzzed. One last ping from home. "Emma, we can make amends. Please come." I smiled, already drafting my schedule. Perhaps, I thought, after we finalize the charter rights for their family estate's new helipad. I tapped out a reply. "Thank you for the offer. Unfortunately, I'll be in Bermuda next week overseeing Skylock's new hangar opening. Do say hello to Claire and Michael for me." Sent. As I saved the email, Leo peeked in. "The team is ready for your briefing." I nodded, straightening my blazer. The engines of my empire were warming up, and though I'd be missing Dad's birthday cake, I'd have the sweetest slice of all, proof that the daughter they wrote off was the one who built an aviation dynasty. Sometimes the best family lessons aren't delivered over cake and candles, they're delivered at 30 feet, in the contracts you never read, by the person you underestimated most, and that person was me.